WSRX, and you're watching Worldwide Sim Racing. We're back again for the feeder series. It is the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I'm joined today again, always, by Drew, or WSR used to be flying. Glad to have you back in the commentary booth for what I believe is going to be an exciting Hungarian Grand Prix. 11 drivers lined up now to get started in short qualifying.
Oh man, I can't believe we've got 11 people right now. I'm over here just yelling and screaming before the stream got started. And what can I say? I'm excited. This is going to be a great race. I apologize. I do have a dog. I apologize. My dog is upstairs. He died down quickly.
Do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the background noise. We'll get that situated, but we are going to move on with qualifying regardless for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And all the drivers are loaded up into the lobby. We're just figuring out some things in the background right now. Chill Mode, Gray 55, Element 10, Catastrophic, Bigu 821, Scar Logan LPC, Viger 1990, Damnation 34, Damian Carroll, Doug Dibadome, and Fallen Monkeys. One driver is going out on the grid. I think that might be Viger. Yes, it is. It is Viger in the still black, blue, and white sunburst livery that he's been using pretty much the entire season. Looks actually quite good from the front with that all blue, and then it changes to that black, and if you look from it behind, well, actually it looks black and blue there as well. Nevertheless, we're getting ready for qualifying, and ladies and gentlemen, it's called Monaco without the walls for a reason. This is a very tight track, and you can get caught out pretty easily if you're not careful, so we're going to hope that all the drivers get around cleanly in what is going to be quite an exciting qualifying session, I believe.
Yeah, this is going to be good. I'm back. Dog's quiet. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm looking at Viger, Scar Logan, and Element. Yeah, there he is. That's honestly who I'm looking at right now Viger last week. Wow, are we serious? Do you remember that qualifying?
It was very, very good by Viger. Unfortunately, the race didn't end up as well. But hopefully he can turn things around in Hungary. This is a track where you just got to stay on the track, really, and you should be good to go. Battling is only really made up in the first few turns of lap 1 and, of course, the main straight. But other than that, primarily you want to be staying behind the person. You don't want to be making any unnecessary moves that can cause an accident, because trust me, if you make an unnecessary move, you will have an accident around this track, as Viger gets ready to start his lap, and we are going to get underway and braking just before the 50-meter board into turn 1, and then activating the DRS, going down the second main straight after turn 1, and then going into turn 2. Hard to hit the apex here, and he actually misses it a little bit, not hugging the wall. You don't want to hit that curve because it can spin your car out. But now going up the hill into turn 4, riding up on the curb, you want to minimize that. Hopefully that didn't invalidate his lap. Making sure not to hit the curb. Now going to go into the small chicane, going into sector 2. You don't want to run up on the high curbs, can really displace the car. He does it perfectly right there. Now going through the next little middle section. This is a lot of tight, hard braking turns. Again, you want to hit all those apexes. Use the curbs. The curbs that are not the tall gray curbs are the curbs that you want to be using. There's a car going yellow in sector 2. We'll have to wait and see who that was. It might just be a car going a little slow. As now coming around the final penultimate turn. Again, one of the higher curves, but he keeps around it, and now coming around the final penultimate turn, then the final turn, and now getting across the line. He's going to set the first time. It's a 1:18.571 for Viger 1990. That puts him on top ahead of everybody else. And
he's going to be next.
Gray 55 now about to cross the line. Let's see what he can do. It's a 1:20, so far off that pace. And then Bigu, and who's this with damage? It looks to be Catastrophic, has damage on his front wing. It's the one of the end plates gone. Yep, one of the end plates is gone on his car, so already on the outlap, not doing it too well. Let's ride on board with Element 10.
Vigers. Sector 3, Element 10, Sector 2.
So actually, we will run right on board. And now Doug Dimmadome goes second fastest. So it's right on board of Damnation. What's he going to do? And it's an invalid. No, I believe he actually is starting his lap time. Scar Logan goes fastest.
By
2 seconds.
Element 10 should be coming around now. Yep. Great exit.
And only second fastest, a 1:17.4.
I gotta say, those two guys are gonna fight it out. I think Viger. Let's see what tires is Viger on though. Let's see.
He is on
Viger
the
was on mediums.
No, no, it is the medium tires. We'll have to wait. What tire was Element on though? He was on the hard tires.
They're
Sorry,
both on
soft tires. No, Scar. Yep, Scar is also on the soft compound tires. So Scar Logan still, though, definitively in pole position at the moment. And Scar Logan's actually coming up on a car right now. This is a little bit of a squabble. I don't know who that is. I think it might be... It's Damnation. Damnation. No, Damnation hasn't set a time yet, so this is his first qualifying lap. Now coming around the final turn, let's see what Damnation can do. It's his first race in a WSR feeder series. Let's see what he can do. And no, it's an invalidated lap. No, it isn't invalidated, but it's only good for 10th, so a pretty bad lap on his part. No damage on the car. And surprisingly, Scar Logan's still not in the pits, which is a little interesting. You would think that pretty much all the energy he would have for a qualifying lap is gone, but no, he's actually still going with it. He's got about 60% on his battery, but now he's going to have to overtake Damnation, and Damnation isn't going to make this easy. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of battling going on for track position. Now Scar Logan just gets out of the way. I don't really know what Scar Logan is doing still on the track. You'd have to imagine he might be running into low fuel mode, and right now that looks to be catastrophic, battling with one of the cars. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Catastrophic.
Lap here. Damnation is getting. I think he's got to go in. He better go in.
I think he's going to have to. I don't know why Catastrophic is still battling right here to get ahead of him. That's not really going to matter too much. Toe is not a huge concern around the Hungaroring, but nevertheless, he is really, really feisty with Damnation. Behind him is Scar Logan, and Scar Logan is getting really close to him as well, but Damnation does not go into the pits yet, so I'm a little intrigued why he hasn't done that yet. He maybe thinks he could improve, and he does improve. He did improve. Damnation did improve, but not by a lot. Catastrophic in 11th has not set a time yet, so... And he has no DRS. He's not activating his DRS yet, which is interesting. So... Maybe Catastrophic not going for a lap right now. I don't really understand why he didn't activate the DRS in there.
He's pushing.
He is pushing, but there was no DRS, which is going to hamper. You're going to lose at least a few tenths of a second not having that extra kPH, or in this case, miles per hour.
Pissed that Damnation was
and Bigu's out of the race. Bigu is out. Do we have any cars in? We're going to ride on board of Catastrophic, see if we can see what went on in Sector 3. There's a yellow flag. I presume there was an accident.
Oh,
and,
no.
Oh, boy, Catastrophic almost lost it himself there, too. And I can't see... Oh, here's the yellow... And there's Bigu into the wall. He is out of qualifying in the Hungaroring. Catastrophic now coming around the final turn. We're to continue the ride on board of him, as we're going to see what time he can set. It's a 118.5. It's best for 4 fastest, so into the top 5. Let's go over the grid order. Let's go over the grid order at the moment. Scar Logan in first, ahead of Element 10. Cho Mo in a very good third position for him. Catastrophic in fourth. Viger 1990 rounds off the top 5. Originally, Viger with a great lap, but apparently it wasn't that great because Scar Logan beat it by 2 seconds. Scar Logan definitively in pole position at the moment. Element 10, who is usually the guy that we see on pole position, is not on pole position right now, and for the first time in quite a while, we actually see him get outpaced by another driver around the track, which is good to see. Is now Element 10 on his outlap, Ready to start another qualifying lap, though. We presume that he can get into those 116s. Can he beat Scarlogan? And now somebody... There's a yellow flag in Sector 2 and 3. Not too sure who that was. And it must have been Viger, because Viger was off the track there for a little bit. No, I'm not quite sure. We're going to ride on board with Element 10 still, though, as he is the man to beat at the moment. Scarlogan LPC is still currently in the pits. Viger has started his first lap. Let's see what the Sector 1 time is going to be. It's going to be plus 2 seconds. And, oh no, it's because Viger actually jumped ahead. He's in second position now. It's a 117.399. So, Viger 1990 is actually in second position ahead of Element 10. Scarlogan in first position. Catastrophic now in the top 5. Let's see what Element 10 can do. Let's look at the Sector 1 time. What's it going to be? Is it going to be faster? We're going to have to wait and see. Now coming up to there, and it is just 0.04 of a second faster, so not a huge improvement in the first sector, but I think the second sector is really where you make up most of the time if you missed it. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for a little bit of a sneeze there, as Element 10 is going through Sector 2, and he runs a little wide on that turn right there, and he actually lost the throttle. I think he knew he was going to go wide, so he actually let up on the throttle, and he's still 0.3 down, though, in Sector 2, so despite going wide, still going faster, but at the moment, it won't be fast enough for pole position, but it will be faster than Viger 1990's time, is now coming around the final few turns. Let's see what Element 10 can do as he comes around the final turn. And now, Element 10, running really wide. Let's see if that kills it. And it only gets him second best. It's still not into the 116s. We're going to ride on board of Scarlogan, who would be looking to improve his current pole position. And he's up by 0.05 of a second in pole position at the moment. Element 10 in second. Viger 1990 is in third position. Let's ride on board of Chill Mo.
Ooh.
And there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. I think that might have been with Damien Carroll and the other driver behind him. Let's ride on board of Scarlogan, who's actually, near Scarlogan. Well, he also had Damien Carroll kind of sitting on the middle of the exit of the turn, so nowhere he could really go. So Scarlogan is definitely not going to improve on this lap. I think Damien might have impeded him a little bit.
Yeah, he could have been in the way of the exit a little bit, but I don't think that Scar was going to make that turn regardless of where that car was. He came in way hot.
So, at the moment, Scarlogan is still in pole position. Element 10 is in second, and then Viger 1990 in third. Chomo in fourth, Catastrophic in fifth. Fallen Monkeys. Let's see, actually, Chomo crossed the line. Is plus 4 seconds, so not going faster at the moment. And now Damien Carroll coming up on traffic. That's Damnation again, I believe. And is it? Yes, it is. Damnation, currently the traffic for Damien Carroll, trying to set a faster time. And nope, Damien's actually just going to abort, I think. Yep, he's going really slow now. And that's definitely not low fuel, so I think Damien just decided to abort it. Obviously not too happy with the current state of affairs. There's a lot of traffic around the Hungaroring. That's kind of an custom, so nothing the drivers can really do. They'll just have to beat it out. And hopefully they can get a clean lap together. Not everybody doing that, but some drivers are able to get into there. So currently it's Scarlogan LPC who's the leader of the championship right now. Which I think he'll be very happy to be leading the championship.
Moses fun. Sector 3, second to last turn. Doing donuts.
Doing another donut. And, there he is. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of sitting. Oh, no, he's letting by Viger.
Letting people go. He's going to have to pit. I don't know, he's gonna have to get out there quick.
Well, half of his front wing's almost gone.
The Viger's on the top lap. We got 3 people that are moving real
And
fast.
Viger went faster, and now it's a 1-7. No, it said he went faster on my screen.
No,
with
he just started his hot lap.
both on outlaps, Scar Logan and Element 10. Also on outlaps, Catastrophic and Fallen Monkey. Let's look at Viger's Sector 1 time. If it's going to be faster, it is going to be a 10th faster. So, on board right now to possibly beat Element 10. It's really the second sector, though, that we're going to want to watch out for. That's going to be the real test if he can get faster.
What is he doing with the shifting?
Scar Logan having absolutely none of it, and I think that, I mean, he's still on his outlap, so everything's still okay. As now Element 10 sets his final lap of qualifying, I would believe. Damien Carroll going off on the runoff area. Viger 1990, final turn. Let's see what he can do. I wasn't seeing the Sector 2 time. If it was good enough, it's a 1:17.4, so it's actually slower by 0.02 of a second. So now Element 10, and he's 500ths faster than his previous Sector 1 time, so currently not on pace. Let's see if he can improve some of the turns. You would presume that turn he went wide, and he can gain a pretty decent amount on. Is he going to do it again? He does. He does do it again. He goes wide again. I still think he stayed in the...
I don't know why.
Going wide again.
I just don't know why they're doing that. There's no more speed out there than there is if you just... There you go.
And just running along that high-grade curb, making sure not to hit it and possibly displace your car. Now going around the final turn. And it wasn't a fantastic lap. And going wide again, but it is a 1:16.8, but it wasn't fast enough. Scar Logan is still on pole position. And Scar Logan has actually looked to be plus 0.05 of a second in the Sector 2. And yeah, look at Scar Logan going really wide around the turn, and I think this is going to be a bit of an ender lap, and let's see what he can do. And no, the car is going massively slow. The ERS has defaulted on the car, so Scar Logan doesn't go any faster, and I don't think any of these drivers are going to get around again for another lap. Catastrophic going very slow right now. Fallen Monkeys looks to be flying right now. Let's see what he can do in Sector 1, what that time is going to be. It's going to be plus 0.3 of a second, so not faster at the moment. Doug Dimmadome, though, is looking a little bit faster, but the ERS is basically in nothing right now. And no, I believe this is going to be a in-lap for him. No, we're going to see. He's going to come around the final turn regardless, see if he can improve his time. It's a 1:18. And it's going to come up to the line. It's going to be close, but no, it's just going to be slower by a 1/10. Now Damien Carroll, who has had a awful qualifying, but again is also in low ERS. He's 0.07 of a second faster in his Sector 2 time, but that's definitely not going to be enough to increase his current standing in qualifying. So the qualifying is over. Scar Logan is going to be on pole position unless Damien Carroll can have anything to do about it. He crosses the line, and it is going to be 4th fastest for Damien Carroll. So finally, putting together a good lap, he gets into the top 5, and he pushes out of the top 5 Chilmo. Doug Dimmadome now also pretty much done with qualifying. He was 6/10 slower in the Sector 1, so we're going to see what this time is. And Doug Dimmadome, I believe, is done. So, Scar Logan LPC is your championship leader, and he is also your pole position man for the Hungaroring, the Hungarian Grand Prix, Element 10. His rival in the championship still, despite the fact Element 10 not being able to make it all the races, is definitively in second. Viger 1990 is going to line up on the second row of the grid in third. pretty exciting qualifying. There was a lot of incidents with on-track traffic, and I think it's going to be a pretty exciting race. Look at the lineup right there again. Scar Logan ahead of Element 10, Viger and Damien Carroll on the second row of the grid. Catastrophic followed by Chill Mo, Fallen Monkeys followed by Doug Dimmadome, Bigu, who crashed out of qualifying, in 9th, Gray 55, and Damnation in his first qualifying, having an absolutely abysmal showing in 11th. So, Usami Flying, what do you think is going to happen in the race? Do you think we have a good race on our hands, or is it going to be a little bit of a mess, you think, in the first few turns?
No, look at the top 3 guys. They're all substantially faster than the rest of the pack, so I think that they're going to get away clean, and I think that they're going to have a really good fight for first and second and third, and I think the rest of the pack is...
And it is raining at the Hungaro ring.
That'll make the distances even more substantial, and the first couple corners even more dangerous.
So, it's been 3 WSR races in a row that we've had rainfall at a race. Not only in the feeder series, but we've also had main series rain. So this is going to be very interesting indeed.
Yeah. I'm not the happiest guy in the world that we've had this much rain, but...
It was good the first time, but maybe after a few times, the gods of F1 are starting to annoy us a little bit. But nevertheless, the check mark goes on, and thankfully, no spinning wheels of doom to make us sad that we might not get this race started. Now, let's go over the lineup. It is intermediate tire conditions. Scar Logan LPC in first, followed by Element 10, Viger 1990 in third, Damien Carroll in fourth. Fifth position for Catastrophic 971, Chomo underscore in sixth position, Fallen Monkeys in seventh, Doug Dimmadome in eighth position, Bigu 821 in ninth position, Gray 55777 is in 10th, and Damnation 34 rounds off the grid in 11th. And we are getting ready. It's the formation lap for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, my name is WSRX, and I'm joined today by WSR Usami Flyin, who is going to co-commentate this race, and I think it's going to be a rather exciting one. The rain going to make it an unpredictable scene around the Monaco without walls track, the Hungaro ring, as we see a Brazilian flag waving in the distance there. I don't know if we have any Brazilians on the grid at the moment. And, well, we had the Deck 91 in here, but apparently he left the session. But nevertheless, we're going to get ready for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. They're now just getting into Sector 3. And the top 2 drivers, Element 10 and Scar Logan LPC, getting far ahead of the rest of the grid. They want to line up as soon as possible. And that's smart because you can really drastically lose temperature in these rainy conditions. So you want to get onto the grid as soon as possible and get this race started. So, turn 1, chaos or controlled?
I think we're going to see control out of the top 5. I think Chill Mo is where we're going to see some loss of braking understanding, just because there's going to be front downforce loss plus rain, plus cold tires. So, just from past races, I think that's going to be where it starts to drop off. It might even start at Catastrophic. But I think the top 4 are going to be fine.
And now we get ready to all line up on the grid. And we get ready for the 5 red lights. And now it's going to be 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and... Yes, it's go! It's a long start on the line, but Scar Logan gets a little actually doesn't get all that great of a start, as Element 10 is going to probably try to challenge in the turn 1. Now, going in the turn 1, and who's that going wide? It looked to be Catastrophic, who really lost it into the turn, and now Damien Carroll jumps up in the 3rd position. Catastrophic tried to go for a move, and it never was really going to work, as now Scar Logan loses it to Element 10, who drops in the 1st position, ahead of the championship leader. Damien Carroll is in 3rd position, and he looks to be making a move on Scar Logan. As what was going on of Catastrophic, it was definitely a loss of braking, but the chaos didn't happen too much, as now Damien Carroll is challenging Scar Logan LPC in that gold, white, and black car for second position. As now we go into the small little chicane here, and oh no, and now running up on the curb there, a few drivers running up on the curb that look to be Chill Mo trying to make a move or maybe defending, as now Damien Carroll, now Viger gets ahead of Chill Mo back in the 4th position, as Damien Carroll, it's really challenging, and oh, he actually loses it a little bit. Viger spins and he loses it, and oh my goodness, there's a huge crash. Huge accident. Viger runs up onto the grid, and now he's reversing on the grid. Oh no, dearie me. Viger has left the session, but the car wasn't ghosting, and a lot of drivers might have lost it there, as now Doug Dimmadome, who had the accident with Viger 1990, is going to be livid right now.
That was brutal. I'm watching Doug Dimmadome right now. That was brutal. He's going to have to quit.
Element 10 is far ahead of the grid already. 3 seconds already already with lap 1 done. As now Damien Carroll goes down on the inside of Scar Logan LPC and gets into 2nd position. As Scar Logan trying to look on the outside there is running up on the curb there. You do not want to be doing that gray curb any favors. As oh my goodness, Scar Logan really almost loses it as well on his own right, and now running up on these curbs, you're really taking some chances in the rain here, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't be doing that if I were you guys on the track right now, as Damien Carroll is in 2nd position, as Chomo is in 4th. Let's ride on board with Gray 55777, who's going to be chasing down Bigu 821 for 6th position. Fallen Monkeys is not too far behind, actually, as he is getting very close to Fallen Monkeys, actually. And Doug Dimmadome is a whole 28 seconds behind 9th position. Viger 1990 actually left the session, and I think that was even more dangerous than the initial move back onto the track, because that actually, his car didn't ghost the first few times he left. That could have caused some major accidents in the early parts of this race because of leaving the session.
Yeah, I don't know why he left. I guess because maybe his car definitely wasn't totaled, so it wasn't a forced retirement. So until we got back to the pits, and it is raining, and it is going to be raining for a little while, so he does have a chance to get back out there and get maybe get back up the field. So it's a little bit disheartening to see him.
As let's go over the lineup. Element 10 is in 1st. He's 4 seconds ahead of Scar Logan. No, he's 4 seconds ahead of Damien Carroll. Scar Logan is 2 seconds behind Damien. Chill Mo in 4th. Catastrophic in 5th. Bigu 021 in 6th. 5 seconds behind. And gaps are already starting to form, ladies and gentlemen. Fallen Monkey's currently the closest to Bigu, chasing down for 6th position, as he actually is getting quite close. There's the yellow flag in Sector 2, and Fallen Monkeys, I think, goes a little wide there, and yes, he does. And now Gray 55 is actually the man who's gone off, and he goes into the wall. He's reversing on the track, and oh my goodness, there's a lot of issues going on right now. Scar Logan must have spun as well, because Chill Mo all of a sudden has taken that position, and now he's going to be in 3rd position.
There's a lot of draw. Oh no, there goes Gray. He's got no wing at all. He's locking up on the wall. Oh no.
That's Doug Dimmadome. Where's Gray? I can't actually see Gray, and there he is. He's on the grass. The game's not giving me any camera angles for him at the moment. Hopefully he doesn't impede any drivers. Let's ride on board with some of our leaders in this race.
Fallen Monkey is back behind Bigu.
But Bigu actually has a low connection warning sign on his car, so you have to be wary making overtakes. It can get a little dicey, to say the least.
Yeah, good time right now. Oh!
And Fallen Monkeys tries to go on the inside, and it didn't happen. Let's ride on board. Is Bigu going into the... No, what is it? Was it Gray? Yeah, Gray finally now getting into the pits. Riding back on board with Fallen Monkeys in a Kill Me Orange and bright blue paint job. I'm getting some old driver from season 1 vibes at the moment right now from this car, but nevertheless, we're going to continue on. He's in 7th position. He's the closest man to be making a move, and it's Bigu ahead of him right now. Not much known about Bigu. I believe he might have been in one of the races early in the season, or he might be a new driver as well.
Under a second.
And he is. He's catching up Chill Mo right now, who might be very good in the dry, but maybe not in the rain. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, man, I've got to give it to Chill Mo, man. He is absolutely murdering it right now. He got away on the start. He took turn 1, 2, and 3 like a boss. And he has not
he didn't
made
take
any serious mistakes.
He didn't take turn 1 all that good there.
That's not a serious mistake. It's not a serious one.
But it's put you back
by with.
No, it's put him back within the second mark. He actually got ahead of Scar Logan there. And no, he's going really wide. He's actually going off of the racing line right now. He's actually, as we were speaking about it, losing a little bit. And now it's back in between a second right now. And Scar Logan though goes a little bit too wide, and now he goes on the grass. So you can say thank you for that, Jomo, as Scar Logan really loses it in the first sector.
And he's keeping it together, though. Look at this guy. I can't believe it's not pinned. He hasn't pinned it. Well done, sir. But Chill Mo's just walking away now. Look at that.
As now Scar Logan almost loses it again. He's all over the track right now.
Like I said, Chill Mo is honestly, he's making mistakes almost every single turn, but they're small. And right now in the rain, he's correcting them well enough and getting back on power quick enough that he's doing it well. I'm not saying he's racing really well, but he is doing a very good job.
You don't have to race too well when you're alone on the track right now. He's 6 seconds behind Damian Carroll. As now Fallen Monkeys is battling with Bigu. We were completely missing this battle going on. Bigu now is back into the slipstream of Fallen Monkeys, and he's going to probably try to, he's going to make a move in the turn 1, and let's see if he can get ahead of him. He can. And he loses the braking zone. Fallen Monkeys is going to take back that position. Bigu completely lost it, and now Bigu far behind, and well, there goes our chance of a battle in this race. Gone down the tube with the lost braking, and we'll have to wait again as another gap closes up a little bit.
That's the rain. That's the rain. You know it just as well as these guys. That's the rain.
Unfortunately, we don't have any forecast information because Codemasters decide not to give us one. And, look to be Scar Logan losing it again. He's dropping positions like flies right now. Scar Logan not in tune at all with this rain weather. I think I'd have to assume Scar Logan has actually raced in the rain before and has never been this bad. And Gray 55 left the session.
He got lapped twice. He's been lapped twice, or at least once by the entire field. So
he's got no front wing again. So something happened.
Yeah, he had enough. He had enough.
Scar Logan now going into the pits. Scar Logan into the pits. It's only lap 7 of 35.
Driving in early, really? Oh, boy.
I don't really know why. I don't think this is going to help you all that much, to be quite frank with you. I don't believe there's... I didn't see any damage on the front wing. Let's see what the pit crews do. Oh, wait.
Oh, my God. That was a pit stop if I've ever seen one.
Well, that was a very quick pit stop. The crew was out there, and they did it without touching his car. So...
I didn't see a tire move.
I didn't see it. Nope. It looks like he's good to go, though, and he just gets ahead of Damnation 34. Let's see if... oh, my goodness. Forget Red Bull Racing. Scar Logan LPC setting a clear as day pit stop record of 0.000 seconds. That was blistering, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't even touch the car. He was past them.
He barely got it stopped.
He barely, no, I didn't even stop, didn't even pull in. That was amazing.
Oh, damnation has not got it under control here. That gap is
And now
extending
it's
itself
3
out.
seconds, and we will ride on board again with another driver. So let's talk about Scar Logan, though, which really not having that fantastic a race right now. I don't actually know what happened in the pits there. We'll have to wait and see. But I have to presume he might have had some sort of penalty or something.
Oh no, Bigu spun.
And Bigu's going very slowly, speeds the car back up, and those disc brakes, despite in the rain, are glowing red hot right now. And I don't think it was a drive-through penalty because the pit crew was out, so I'd have to assume that he pitted, but I don't actually, we didn't, of course, see the pit stop, so I don't know.
Well, let's check the race director. They did not change tires.
They did not change tires, so Scar Logan passes by
yes,
the.
They did.
Oh
Yes,
no!
they did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they did. So yeah, he pitted, and they changed tires. It wasn't a stop go or any of that.
So he just got away with the fastest pit stop of all time. Scar
He
Logan
also has no penalties. So
unfortunately, it didn't do him any favors because he's still only in 7th position at the moment. But maybe that basically no time lost on the pit stop will help him later on in the race. We'll have to wait and see. I don't have a forecast for you, ladies and gentlemen, because a feature which you would think would be very good for broadcasting is not in the broadcast at all. As Scar Logan runs up again on the curbs, as the game is giving me some absolutely awful camera angles, low ground views, and oh no! Ooh, he almost loses it again. And despite having new intermediate tires, they're not helping him at all. The grip is still horrendous. I can only assume, because Scar Logan's actually raced in the rain before and not had this many issues, I can only assume he didn't look at the weather report, and there might be a dry setup on the car right now, which might be telling us why he's spinning up so much, because he's really losing it like pretty much everywhere. Elman 10, though, running away with it. He's now 6.8 seconds ahead of Damien Carroll. And pretty much all the drivers separated by a lot. And that looks to be Damnation and Doug Dimmadome into a battle. And I missed it again, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. Missed another overtake. We're about as bad as actual FOM, but considering they're a professional broadcasting group, I'll give it a little bit of ease that we're not that terrible. But, well, I was going to say the battle was going on, but there's another gap forming, so I will apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We just missed one of the only overtakes you might see in this race. So, Used to Me Flying, what do you have to say at the moment, considering the race? Who, besides Chomo, obviously impressive in 3rd position at the moment, he'd love a podium. What did you say how the race has gone right now for all the drivers? We'll go over all of them right now. Element 10, of course, in the lead. Pretty much stellar. Damien Carroll, what do you think about him going in 2nd position at the moment?
Oh man, look, Damien Carroll, Chilmo, they're keeping it together. Element 10, I expect him to be up there. I expect Scar to be up there. I expected Viger to be up there. Viger crashed out and had enough, apparently. Scar is very much sort of struggling, and Damien and Jill have just honestly kept their heads, put their foot down, not made any major mistakes, and not spun yet. So, good on them.
Now, what about the move of Catastrophic in the turn 1? Do you think he was going for an overtake, or do you think that was just a loss of braking?
I think he just missed the braking zone completely.
And Fallen Monkeys is in 5th position, so he actually hasn't moved up too much in positions at the moment. Bigu 021. It's been okay in this race. He's currently 6th as we get another terrible camera angle. Thank you. And 7th position belongs to Scar Logan as he goes wide again. And Oh, he's actually got no end plate on his one side of his
Jimmy
front
Dome
wing.
is right on Star Logan.
Yep, there he is. He's going back because there's a front wing issue for Scar Logan LPC. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. And it looked to be up. Viger, oh no. Viger is going very slow. I hope Chill Mo didn't get impeded at all. Let's look on that front wing. It seems to be all okay, so everything is going to be okay, I think. But Doug Dimmadome drops back again, unfortunately. But I think that Scar Logan making so many mistakes, it's going to come eventually where Doug Dimmadome is going to get ahead of him. And now he is back within a second. Unfortunately, no DRS with the rain, so that's not going to help him at all while he's trying to make an overtake. And again into the pit, Scar Logan. For a front wing change, I would presume. So Doug Dimmadome will take a position. Damnation will take a position. Viger and Gray are out of the race, so I don't believe that's going to matter too much. But the race goes from bad to worse. Unfortunately, the pit crew not able to put together... Oh, well, never mind, actually. That was actually a very fantastic... No, what is going on? What is going on my screen? It almost reverted him. That was... I'm not going to question anything anymore. The pit crew goes back in. Looked to be a fast wing change. I don't know. We're just going to go on with it. He's in 9th position, so he's just into the points at the moment. There's a lot of weird things going on in this Hungarian Grand Prix. I think that the rain and just so many other things going wrong. I don't really know how to explain half the things that are going on right now, but all I can tell you right now is there's a lot of gaps between drivers and not a lot of battling going on. And it is lap 12 of 35. We have 11 drivers on the grid, but unfortunately, I think the rain has kind of spoiled our race dreams at the moment, as now element 10 is coming up behind a back marker, and it is Scar Logan LPC. So he's going to try to get out of the way, I hope, as hopefully he doesn't catch him in Sector 2. That would not be good indeed.
Fallen Monkeys just dealt with a back marker of Viger 1990, and he did very well. Viger got out of the way around a turn, got off the race.
Well, Viger's not in the game, so that's the AI getting out of the way.
I know, yeah, I know, but that's, yes.
And, ooh, I hope that, oh, no, he does get out of the way, I think. No, does he? I don't know. He didn't catch up to him on the straight, so, and no, he does finally get him out of the way. And Scar Logan slots in behind element 10, so Scar Logan making sure he gets out of the way of him, and now Damian Carroll going to be the next man to catch up to him, if he does in fact do so. One of the hardest things, though, I think, as a driver, is when you let by a faster driver, say the leader of the race, but then you actually still keep up with them pace-wise, and it actually gets annoying because you can't battle that driver, but you don't know what to do because of the fact that you can't overtake them, but you know you're kind of going faster than them. That's not really the case for Scar Logan, as he basically loses it again in another turn. But that can be really annoying, getting behind a car that's faster than you. You've let them by with blue flags, but they're not really speeding up too much, and they're essentially impeding you.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been there, we've all been there, but, you know, one of the things is if you're going to be right up on their butt, you're risking your tires, you're risking downforce, you're risking also an accident. You know, you remember the other, not last year, was it last year when Max was leading the race and he got
taken out by Ocon?
Yeah, so, like, you really don't want to be that guy that spins the race leader because you're being a jerk. You know, unless you're clearly going to be able to unlap yourself because you're on a fresher, softer compound tire, and the race leader's on a harder, older tire, and you've got charge, then go ahead and try and make a move on a straight. Do not make moves around corners with the race leader when you're a blue flag black marker. That is that is Bush League stuff right there, boys and girls. That is Bush League stuff.
So, the race is slowly getting duller as Damian Carolla is 11 seconds behind Element. Chilmo's 23 seconds behind him. Catastrophic.
Hey man, Bigu's got 6.3 behind Doug Dimmadome. What are you talking about?
Well, Fallen Monkeys is 2.4, the closer gap that you seem to have missed. So we're gonna ride on board of him. Whatever. Anyway, we're trying to crack up ourselves a little bit, and at the moment is a little bit of an uneventful race, but we're gonna hope it gets better. We're hoping the rain dies so we can actually have an interesting race a little bit, but it's not doing it for us right now.
No, the racing line really isn't forming up nicely enough. I'm hoping by lap 20, 25, it really gets carved out and they can really get moving. I don't know if they're going to be able to put on slicks in this race, but Sector 2 looks like it might dry out, but then you come back into Sector 3 and all of a sudden it's like, oh, look, it's Hurricane Dorian.
Oh, a little bit too soon right there. You see me flying. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Damian Carolla is in second. That's who I'm riding on board of right now. I think he did get ahead of a back marker in Damnation, so nothing to worry about there. Element 10 not running into any back markers. Gaps are really forming up. The only gaps that's really close is Fallen Monkey is 2.8 seconds, but Bigu 021 is 7 seconds behind, so he's actually dropped back a little bit. The other gaps, Damien 12 seconds, Chilmo 25 seconds, Catastrophic 12 seconds, Doug Dimmadome 22 seconds, Scarlogan 16 seconds, Damnation in ninth, 12 seconds, and then Viger and Gray are a full minute behind everybody else. Obviously, the AI don't really have that much pace when you quit. Nevertheless, it's Gap City right now in this Hungarian Grand Prix, and currently the only driver really catching up to anybody is Fallen Monkeys. He's actually 1.5 seconds behind Catastrophic 971.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're watching Fallen Monkeys right now, and again, I would love to see some really close racing, some battles, but whenever anybody gets close to another driver, they either pass them and dust off down the track, or one of them spins because they're doing something abnormal to what they've now learned muscle memory-wise for this track in 16 laps. You dive too deep, you cut the wheel too hard, or the pad too hard, you jam the brake too hard, or whatever you're doing that's abnormal for that corner as opposed to what you've done the last 10 straight laps, and you spin.
Let's actually talk, because Fallen Monkeys is getting very close, and oh no, don't tell me he's gone into the pits. The race gets worse and worse, ladies and gentlemen. Fallen Monkeys, our potential only battle, is done because he takes him over in the pit lane. So now, really,
he's gonna slot out right in front of Doug Dimmadome, though.
True treacherous conditions, really. It's rain, and we finally were getting a battle, ladies and gentlemen, and then Catastrophic goes into the pits. And let's see. No.
That was a really long pit stop.
No. Of course, the pit crew also decided to be as slow as they humanly could be. As, well, Doug Dimmadome actually has a terrible break in the turn one. And the gap is 2 seconds with Catastrophic to Doug Dimmadome. But that's currently, again, our only small gap. Bigu getting, he loses it again. As the dog's barking. He's upset with the race, too. Well, we had one possible battle, but a pit stop kind of ruined that, as the only right now we got is Catastrophic, who is catching up to Doug Dimmadome, I'll mind you, but still stolen from us. Possible battle. As
what can I say?
Doug Dimmadome losing it.
Entertaining race. But when it is entertaining, You know something's going to happen because here we go. Catastrophic 1.2
Why? We got a
seconds
safety
behind.
car out. There's a safety car out on
Oh,
track.
why?
For what? For what reason? No safety car during the Viger incident, but we got a safety car for nothing.
Yeah, there's nobody that crashed. Nobody spun. There's no reason for this to have happened. Well, you know what? You know what happened? The game was like, everybody needs to pack it up here. We need to get closer together because this is nonsense. So here it goes. Let's see what happens.
Well, the safety car, F1 must have been listening because the race was getting truly boring. So I think they just saw the gaps and they decided, well, let's just put a safety car out and bunch everybody back up the field. So we're going to get ready, hopefully, for some possibly exciting races on the safety car restart, as long as the field gets all bunched up together. Why the safety car came out, who knows? It's hard enough getting it out when there's actual accidents, let alone now no accidents. So really, the game is showing us its pure form, next generation intelligence with this no crash safety car.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. There's no reason to have this safety car. I scrolled through everybody's stream, TV pod cam, and nobody was off track. And I like ran through them quick. So I don't know.
I mean, we're not going to complain too much because that is going to bunch up the grid and that is going to make the race a little bit more exciting. And there is the safety car right there, the Mercedes AMG. As well, this is actually our second safety car in a row in the feeder series. Hopefully, this one doesn't go nearly as bad as the second one. Sorry, this one doesn't go nearly as bad as the first one, because that was a little bit of a terrible time. But I think it'll be a little bit better. It's not Singapore, so we hope for the best, as we're just riding now with the safety car. The gaps should be getting smaller, and they are. My deltas aren't showing it, but
They will. They got to clear another marker.
So, safety car restart. Let's actually ride on board with, it looks to be Catastrophic making a pit stop. And what's going on? Catastrophic stuck in the pit lane. Oh my goodness, the car, I have no idea what happened there. He might have forgotten to put the release on, and oh, dearie me. It's very difficult to botch a safety car pit stop, but I think that might have been a little bit of one.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That's the third time that I've seen a car go through this pit lane tonight, and it's either been a ridiculously fast, inhuman pit stop where no one touches the car and all four tires are changed and the wing is changed and it's gone in less than a second, or it's I'm going to sit here for 10, 15 seconds, someone's going to touch the car, and penalties are served before you touch the car. So they wouldn't change the tires and then put the car down off the jacks and sit there and wait. So there's obviously a glitch going on. So it's unfortunate for our drivers because they are dealing with rain, they are dealing with substandard conditions, and now they got to deal with a bunch of nonsense from the server, a safety car for no reason. You know.
Scar Logan still a little bit erratic behind the safety car. He is getting quite close to, I believe, is Damien ahead of him. He's a few times he's missed his braking a little bit there, so I think he's gonna want to recheck himself, as he's taking weird lines on the safety car, which is interesting. You'd want to race it on the racing line because that's where your tires are going to get the most heat. But he's
he should. Doesn't he need to pass all these people?
No, I believe he's fine now. It would have to be Viger that have to make a late change. Well, I don't know why he's slowing up now all of a sudden. Well, the gaps are starting to slow down a little bit. Damien now is trying to unlap himself, I believe, and he's behind Element 10 right now in the order. So this should be an exciting safety car restart. The last one was interesting. So hopefully this one will be good too. Doug Dimmadome was a little bit of a concernment with his safety car restart, so we'll have to wait and see what this one will hold for us. There is no mention right now of the safety car coming back into the pits, so we'll have to wait and see when that's going to happen. I think lap 20 might be that time.
Yeah, I would hope so. I don't understand why a couple of these Red Damnation should be unlapping himself right now. He should be hauling butt around this track right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. First off, why the safety car came out? Who knows? Secondly, why is it still out? Who knows? Third, there's not really a third, but with so many confusions, there should be a third. So we're waiting now for the restart of this race. It's currently the WSR feeder series. We could call it the joke series right now because that's all we've been trying to do this entire race. But we should hopefully get this started soon.
We're going to see some really good racing, or we're going to see some absolute blusters. So we'll see what happens here. Everybody is, well, as long as everybody gets around the track without running, catastrophic off the track.
And he's lost part of his front wing. Disaster. The only reason Damien is, I don't know why Damien is still sitting there. He's a minute 21 behind the rest of the grid. Still hasn't unlapped himself.
No, he's not. Damien's 0.8 seconds off Element 10. He doesn't need to. Damnation.
No, Damnation. But Damnation is second on the grid currently in the safety car order. And it's in this lap. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. Damnation would technically be a Blue Flags car. Concerning where he is on the pit lane right now, I hope he realizes that because he is going to be technically battling Element 10. This is essentially blowing it for Damien because he's going to be... And let's see, does he actually get out of the way? No, he doesn't. So I don't know if Damnation realizes that he's not really supposed to be battling right now. Element 10 gets a much better restart, and we're underway. Element 10 gets clear. And now Damien Carroll challenging Damnation, but why? Why would he be challenging him? It doesn't make any sense, but now he gets ahead of him easily, so we're still good to go there as now Bigu overtakes Catastrophic from the pit lane, and, well, it looked to be OK Racing is now, who was that going side by side? I'm trying to ride on board and see who it was, and of course I missed it, and it looked to be Scar Logan. It's hard to it's hard to follow because there's the positions are so skewed right now in the pit, after the safety car restart. And that looks to be Chomo in third, though he's behind Scar Logan. Doesn't make any sense. And there's that. Yep, there's blue flags being waved.
Great move.
But there's blue flags being waved for all these cars that didn't unlap themselves like they should have. And now Chomo should get ahead of Scar Logan because there is a blue flag being waved. The game having a little bit of a seizure, I think. Or some of the drivers having seizures and not making sure they get out of the way. And now Scar Logan gets hit with a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags. Insult to injury. He finally gets out of the way. And I think, quite frankly, that's the only reason Scar Logan even realized he had to let by Chomo.
Yep.
Let me just tell you, that's the worst way to find out that you need to give way for drivers. Well, that is some scenes, to say the least. Doug Dimmadome is in fifth, and he was within a second. He's no longer within a second.
You know Jeff was yelling at Scar to get out of the way. Scar just passed him. Passed Chilmo.
As gaps are once again forming, so it was going to be a little bit of an exciting safety car restart. Currently, Doug Dimmadome is the closest man behind Fallen Monkeys. As Fallen Monkeys is, oh dear, what's going on now? There's still blue flags being waved. Scar Logan, and is that Fallen? Why is Fallen Monkeys getting? I have no idea what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Blue flags are being waved. I believe it's for Doug Dimmadome, who's trying to get ahead of 2 drivers now, and he gets ahead of Scar Logan finally. And now he's going to get ahead of, I believe it would be Fallen Monkeys once he catches up to him. But now Catastrophic still getting really close to Doug Dimmadome. I don't understand. There's a lot of confusion, I think, from drivers about what you're supposed to be doing right now.
There shouldn't be any confusion. If you're racing for a position, race for a position. If you're absolutely faster than the car that you just allowed in front of you, pick a spot, pass them, and dust it. If you can't do that, then let them get by, give them a gap in front of you, and stay behind them. Let's go.
As Fallen Monkeys is now chasing down Chill Mo for 3rd position. He's 1.6 seconds behind. We're going to try to ignore some of the back marker shenanigans going on right now. And it's now Doug Dimmadome and Doug Dimmadome and Scar Logan is still very close together, but I don't really understand what's going on. I think a lot of the drivers are confused currently on their positions due to the safety car restart. I think a lot of drivers just didn't uncap themselves. So I think that it's a game confusion and a actual driver confusion on their own right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could get confusing, you know.
Doug Dimmadome is chasing down Fallen Monkeys is chasing down Chill Mo is 2.2 seconds, but now Doug Dimmadome is actually chasing down Fallen Monkeys 1.2 seconds within the gap.
Taking these turns a little bit better than Fallen Monkeys.
Exits are better. He's staying on the racing line, I think, a little bit better than Fallen Monkeys. Or whatever the racing line is, because it's actually a little hard to tell on some parts of the track, because drivers haven't been consistently staying on it, except for the top 3 drivers. Chill Mo, you gotta hand it to him. It's been pretty much an entire race, safety car restart, all and above. He is still in 3rd position, so he must be very happy with that.
Yeah, like I said on lap 8 or lap 6, he bossed the first 3 laps and he hasn't looked back. So I gotta give a lot of respect to Chill Mo tonight. A lot of props to him.
Now Doug Dimmadome is getting very, very close to Fallen Monkeys, as Fallen Monkeys, I think, is not getting the better exits and turns right now. Look at that. Fallen Monkeys actually goes a little wide on that turn, and now a better last turn exit as now Doug Dimmadome in the slipstream of Fallen Monkeys. Is he going to try to make a move on the inside? It is about half a second, so I think it was a rather smart decision not to do that. And now, Fallen Monkeys, though, is, I think, losing it a little bit. It's not super wide on the turns, but it's not super clean either.
Doug Dimmadome's helping him out by kind of following him around the track right now. He needs to focus on his own line, focus on his own braking zones.
As off, Doug Dimmadome goes up on the curve a little bit. No penalty served. But that can award you penalties if you're cutting corners like that. Surprisingly enough, Surprisingly enough, we haven't actually had any 3-second time penalties, at least none that have been shown to me on the game. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's catastrophic, I think, going quite slow. Yes, it is catastrophic. So, driver of the day at the moment, I would think would be Chomo. Who would you say is not been driver of the day? I guess undriver of the day at the moment. I'd have to presume.
It's going to either go to Scar Logan or Viger.
I'd have to assume Viger just because I think it was unsafe for him to be quitting the game. It caused his car to not go in the ghost, but reverse onto the track. Could have caused major incidents, but obviously Scar Logan, it just seems that over the course of the race, just constantly going back down the field more and more.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is, what's going on. I guess it's the rain. And the quirky nature of what's been going on with the timing and the safety car and all the other stuff.
I mean, let's not forget Element 10, because Element 10 has basically had a perfect race in the lead. Start to finish, I think he's actually led the entire race, all the laps. So you got to have it at the Element 10. This has basically been a masterclass performance by him right now. Again, though, this is kind of things we expect out of Element 10.
Right, that's why we're not talking about it, because it's something we expect him to do.
But I still think it's good to mention it anyway. I mean, these are unpredictable conditions. I think it's good to mention what has been a perfect performance from Element 10, who, despite being quick, has had consistency issues in the past in some races. So good to see him staying consistent in this race, making sure he's not going off anywhere, and he has absolutely had an amazing race.
Have you noticed that he has not had to fight anyone?
He hasn't, but he's still, despite not having to fight anyone, it's still staying consistent.
No, I'm saying he did so well that he hasn't had to fight anyone. He's been so far ahead. Even on the restart, he just said, "All right, guys, see you later."
Yeah, well, it was a bad restart by pretty much the entire grid except for Element 10, who had a cracker in the final turn and blew the rest of the grid away almost immediately. So that's, again, that's not just, skill, that's also just track awareness. That's knowing what to do at the right time, understanding a driver's mentality, and understanding when to do those restarts, when to make the moves, all those things. As, unfortunately, the only battle going on right now is the AI battle of Gray 5577 and Viger 1990.
Doug Dimmadome is still within a 1.1, 1.2. He brings it down to a half second. He's charging right now, so
it just seems that every time a driver gets behind another driver, they get into that gap, and then it increases again, because besides the 50% downforce loss, there's also just the complete lack of grip in the braking zone, and you essentially lose all of that momentum when you get very close to these drivers, and it's hard to make moves.
Yeah, it's hard to stay close to somebody too, because you're not prepared to let your car go any deeper than you already are. Basically, where you brake in the rain is where you have to brake, and if you brake any later, you're going to miss the turn.
Doug Dimmadome is currently in the lead. Why am I saying in the lead? He's in 5th position. I'm having a brain fart right now, ladies and gentlemen. Element 10 is in the lead. Doug Dimmadome is in 5th. I'm confused. I'm as confused as the drivers are. It's been a pretty bad showing on my part. But then again, the race hasn't been too fantastic either. The gap is actually increasing right now, 1.5 seconds. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. You seem to be fine. I think you can pick up the slack for me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're watching Doug Dimmadome right now because there's nobody else on track that's within 2 seconds. The next person is Fallen Monkeys, 4 seconds behind Chomo, but that gap is barely within eye shot of each other. on this track. So right now we're going to be hunkered down on Doug Dimmodom's camera so that we can watch if he gets any closer to Fallen Monkeys. And right now he's, again, charging up. He's got 60%, 62, 64. So, I'm thinking that he's going to wait until lap 32, and then he's going to go to push past Fallen Monkeys. He just needs to keep it together, keep things going the way they're going right now, stay out of that dirty air, get the battery charged up, make sure the fuel isn't all screwed up for the end of the race, get himself a rich mode for at least 2 or 3 of these laps so you can get a hot lap mode in with the ERS.
Fallen Monkeys goes really wide in the turn 1. That's going to lose him at least half a second, so the gap forms up again, but Doug Dimmadome actually runs up on the curb. So both drivers making a few mistakes here and there, but ultimately that gap staying within that second. So I think that's what's going to be important for the race. Is now he's within 1 second. It's now just 0.8. As Element 10, 9 seconds ahead of Damien Carroll. Chill Mo, 9 seconds behind Damien.
Half a second now. He's closing the gap. He's within 0.2 now.
And look at that. Fallen Monkeys is going all over the place. He is absolutely having none of it right now.
And Doug Dimmadome is still charging the battery. Like I said, I'm waiting for him to go about 1 or 2 more laps, and then he's going to let it go.
We're riding on board of the onboard camera right now of Doug Dimmadome, who is currently chasing down 4th position from Fallen Monkey, who has had a bit of a mixed-matched race at the moment. The beginning wasn't so fantastic. Right now, though, he's doing pretty good, sitting in 4th, just outside of the podium. A podium position pretty much not possible at the moment unless Chomo makes a horrid mistake at the end of this race. But I'm going to stop right there. I don't want to be jinxing any drivers right now. But let's see what Doug Dimmadome can do. He is staying close. So I think lap 31, 32, as you said, used to be flying. He's going to let off that ERS. He's going to let up that fuel mixture. And we're going to see some really big pace come out of Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
That gap is getting really close, and it's actually let up a little bit in the second sector, but it's still staying within that second margin.
Yeah, he keeps bringing it back down from 1.3 to 0.6, 1.1, 0.8. Here now he's pushing. He's pushing now.
As he gets again a better exit out of the final turn on lap, and now it's lap 31 of this race for Doug Dimmadome, and he is chasing him down, overtake activated. As I think in general, though, you want to keep it on hot lap the whole race. Of course, you do get better acceleration, but I think in general, if you're chasing him down on an entire lap, it's hot lap you want to be in.
In my opinion, overtake is definitely the fastest mode that you can set your ERS to. It's just going to suck the power out of it really fast. So if you're not going to get the move done quickly,
and oh my goodness, Fallen Monkeys though is really losing it. So they might get it within this lap because he is having absolutely none of it right now in his orange and blue car. As Doug Dimmadome really chasing him down. And he runs up on the curb a little bit there, as despite the fact that he has it in overtake, he still kept within the 70% area, which is really impressive considering how much it does drain your battery, in fact.
It's raining. When it's raining, the drain is much less.
But it's still a really impressive sight to see. He's really managing that ERS well, despite keeping it in overtake. The braking zones are all perfect. As now he comes around the final turn, that gap is all so closer, and I have to think on this turn unless Fallen Monkeys. Let's see what ERS he's in. No, he's only in 2. Is he going to notch it up in the overtake? Let's see if he does. And he does. He notches an overtake. Now Doug Dimmadome also an overtake. But again, Slipstream is going to help him still. They're getting really, really close. And I think he's still a bit too far back. And Fallen Monkeys actually keeps it on the apex this one time on the turn and gets a really good exit out of turn 1. This is getting really serious in the final few laps. As, oh no, Fallen Monkeys losing it again on his end, but then Doug Dimmadome doesn't really capitalize all that well. So both drivers getting closer to each other and then kind of making mistakes on both ends and keeping that gap still a little bit too far behind me, making a move right now.
Yeah, Fallen Monkeys is managing his
Oh
ERS.
no, and he goes really slow, Fallen Monkeys. Doug Dimmadome actually had to almost go off the track there. We're getting into slow, like unnecessarily slow territory in those kind of situations.
Doug Dimmadome better be careful. He's running wide on these sausage curves and it's going to spin you.
And now, coming around, lap 33, where's Fallen Monkeys in his ERS? He's kept it in 1 ERS for this lap, and now it's in 0. He's going to try to charge it up as much as possible. Is he going to chuck it in an overtake? Yes, he is. He does chuck it in an overtake again, and now Doug Dimmadome is an overtake, but that slipstream has gone down quite a lot, and the gap now starting to reform a little bit, as I think a few mistakes from Doug Dimmadome in the last lap really killed his race pace right then and there. Oh, running up on the curb again there. That's not going to help your car stability at all. So, Doug Dimmadome dropping behind a little.
Now. Doug Dimmadome's ERS set at 4. I just watched it for an entire lap back and forth between Fallen Monkeys and Doug Dimmadome. Fallen Monkeys is not revving the car out and not doing anything wildly different than Doug Dimmadome. Doug Dimmadome has had it set in overtake this entire 3 laps since the end of lap 30. Fallen Monkeys has been going back and forth trying to manage it. Doug Dimmadome is at 45%. Fallen Monkeys at 38%, and he drops down the same amount as Doug Dimmadome does in 1 when Doug's in 4. Very odd what's going on with these two drivers' ERS.
And yet still keeping a relative same pace, it seems.
Yes.
But now the gap
odd.
has actually increased. It's up to now 2 seconds right now. Whereas on lap 34 of 35, and he loses it in that last turn a little bit, I think. And yep, Doug Dimmadome now with just about 2 second gap right there. So the charge happened for a little bit, but unfortunately not enough. Now, Element 10 is 14 seconds ahead of Damien Carroll, and then Chill Mo is in 12 seconds. Fallen Monkeys has been chasing him down for this race, but still about 4 seconds of a gap.
I gotta say, Element 10 has had a perfect race. He's gotten bunched up twice. He got a good takeoff on both occasions. He had a great start. He hasn't had any offs as far as I've seen, and I've checked on him several times. And right now, he's, again, on the power at the right time, tracking out in the right places, hitting all the apexes well, braking well, not locking anything up, and he's not losing any grip or traction.
Let's run on board of Catastrophic. Well. He's getting very close to Bigu 021. It's on the last lap, 35 of 35, and now Bigu has that internet connection issue. But Catastrophic trying to make a move. He runs up a little wide there into turn 1, but maybe, just maybe, one move can be made at the end. Oh no, Catastrophic loses it. Oh, but Bigu loses it too. And now he's getting really close. He should chuck in an overtake if I was him. It's the last lap. Just put it all in. And no. Oh, he's really slowing up. What's going on here? That was an odd braking and shifting by Catastrophic. But he's still keeping it together. Keeping it behind Bigu. I think he might be a little bit afraid of Bigu with his current braking. How that's going. And oh, I would be afraid too as Bigu's not going exactly the fastest around some of these turns. And now a fantastic move on the outside of Bigu, and he gets it done. That was fantastic.
That was ballsy to get that done that way, but he did it. Locked it in. My position, sir, is what he said.
And now Element 10
together.
Coming around the final turn, and he is going to definitively win with a Poach's stamp licked on there. Element 10 wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Damien Carroll now coming through the final few turns himself. He will take second position in this race, and it has been a great race for him as well. Now going up to the line, and it is over for Damien Carroll. And now Chill Mo, who has had a stellar race as well, a fantastic start by him. He is going to round off the final podium positions. Chill Mo is going to take the last podium position in this Hungarian Grand Prix. A fantastic race for him. Fallen Monkeys and Doug Dimmadome going to be in 4th and 5th respectively, as Scar Logan is the last man who needs to finish on the grid. He's in 8th position right now. It's been a horrid race for Scar Logan LPC. Our championship leader is going to lose a lot of ground in the championship today. As Let's Ride just on board now with Element 10. You're a championship winner and, championship leader. I think. I'm not sure because there was a lot of points lost by Scar Logan LPC.
Yeah, a lot.
But he might have just kept it together. We'll have to wait and see. But Element 10 nevertheless has won the Hungarian Grand Prix. It has been a interesting race in terms of strategy. We did have a safety car, so I guess we should be slightly happy about that. But it was still a good race from Element 10. Chill Mo rounding off the podium. Damien Carroll getting second. It's been a Hungarian Grand Prix from the WSR Feeder Series. My name is WSRX.
And my name's You See Me Flying.
And you've been watching Worldwide Sim Racing for the WSR Feeder Series. Thank you very much, and have a great night.